The city of Vienna, 1914, lies cloaked in a shroud of fog, its cobblestone streets glistening under the faint glow of gas lamps. A solitary figure moves through the alleys, his footsteps muffled, deliberate, as if each step carries the weight of 1,000 unwritten futures. His name is Lukas Varga, a man whose face history will forget, but whose actions will scar the world. In his gloved hand, a revolver rests, cold and heavy, its steel warmed only by the fever of his resolve. The air is thick with the scent of rain and coal smoke, and the distant toll of church bells marks the hour. Midnight, the threshold between one era and another. His breath, visible in the chill, is steady, but his eyes betray a storm. Conviction wrestling with doubt, purpose shadowed by fear. He pauses, pressing himself against the damp brick of a forgotten alley. The Hofburg Palace looming in the distance like a gilded monument to an empire on the verge of collapse. This is no ordinary night. This is the night the world shifts. Lukas Varga, a clerk, a dreamer, a nobody, stands poised to become the fulcrum of history. One shot, one fleeting moment, and the fate of nations will bend. But who was this man? What drove him to this precipice? And why does his name linger only in the margins of time? A whisper drowned by the roar of the war he unleashed. Lukas Varga was born in 1889 in a Budapest tenement where the walls wept with damp and the air carried the sour tang of poverty. His mother, a seamstress, stitched dreams into threadbare cloth, her fingers bleeding for pennies. His father, a factory worker, drowned his despair in cheap liquor, leaving Lukas to fend for himself by age 10. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, a sprawling tapestry of languages and grudges, offered no mercy to the likes of Lukas. It was a realm of contrasts, glittering Viennese ballrooms for the elite, squalid slums for the masses. Lukas grew up in the shadows of this divide, his childhood a mosaic of hunger, theft, and fleeting moments of hope. A schoolteacher, seeing the spark in his eyes, slipped him forbidden pamphlets, words of Slavic pride, of rebellion against the empire's iron grip. Those pages became his scripture, their ink fueling a fire that would burn for years. By his 20s, Lukas was a clerk in a Viennese printing house, his days spent setting type for imperial decrees he despised. By night, he haunted taverns where whispers of revolution hung heavy in the air. The Black Hand, a secretive Serbian nationalist group, found him there, a young man with nothing to lose and everything to prove. They spoke of a free Slavic state, of shattering the chains of Habsburg rule. To Lukas, their words were a siren's call, promising purpose to a life shaped by loss. He was no leader, no orator, but he was a believer, and belief is a dangerous thing in a world on the edge. To understand Lukas Varga, one must see the world as he did, a powder keg waiting for a spark. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was a fragile colossus, its 50 million souls divided by language, faith, and ambition. Germans and Hungarians held power. Slavs, Czechs, and others simmered under their yoke. Across Europe, alliances tightened like nooses, Germany and Austria-Hungary bound by steel, Russia and France by mutual fear. The Balkans, a cauldron of unrest, bubbled with dreams of independence. Serbia, newly emboldened, was a thorn in the empire's side and the Black Hand its sharpest point. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne, was a man caught in the crosshairs of this turmoil. He was no caricature of tyranny. He was a reformer, a dreamer of a federated empire where every voice might be heard. Yet to the Black Hand, he was a symbol of oppression, a gilded cage they sought to shatter. Lukas, swept up in their fervor, saw only the enemy, not the man. He did not know, could not know, that the Archduke's death would not foundational underscore text, not spark freedom, but a war that would consume millions. The Black Hand chose June 28, 1914, for their strike. Franz Ferdinand's visit to Sarajevo, a city pulsing with Slavic resentment, was their moment. A team of assassins was assembled, Lukas among them, a quiet figure tasked with watching, waiting, acting only if others failed. His role was small, his name unimportant. Yet history has a way of elevating the insignificant. The streets of Sarajevo that day were alive with tension, the air thick with the weight of impending doom. The Archduke's motorcade rolled through the city, an open car carrying Franz Ferdinand and his wife, Sophie, their faces etched with duty. The first attempt, a bomb hurled by another assassin, failed, wounding bystanders and scattering the plan. The motorcade sped away, and the Black Hand's hopes faltered. But Lukas remained, a shadow in the crowd, his revolver a cold promise in his pocket. Fate, or chance, intervened. A wrong turn brought the Archduke's car to a halt near a bridge, mere steps from where Lukas stood. He stepped forward, his heart a drumbeat in his chest. The revolver rose, its barrel steady despite the tremble in his soul. 2 shots rang out, sharp and final. Franz Ferdinand slumped, blood staining his uniform. Sophie fell beside him, her hands still clasped in his. The crowd erupted in chaos, screams piercing the summer air. Lukas slipped away, swallowed by the throng, his face a mask of resolve and terror. He had done it. The empire would tremble. But what cost? Lukas Varga's name did not echo through history. Arrested days later, he was tried in secret, his execution a footnote in the chaos that followed. The Black Hand disavowed him, their cause swallowed by the war they had ignited. World War I erupted, a maelstrom that claimed 16 million lives. Empires crumbled, Austria-Hungary, Russia, Germany, redrawing the map of the world. New nations rose from the ashes. Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, fragile dreams of freedom born in blood. Lukas, the forgotten assassin, was gone, his story buried beneath the weight of the catastrophe he helped unleash. Yet his act was no mere ripple. It was a tidal wave. The war reshaped economies, ideologies, and destinies. The Treaty of Versailles sowed the seeds of another war, its terms a bitter harvest of resentment. The world Lukas sought to liberate became a battleground, its people caught in the gears of history's relentless march. What does it mean to change the world? Lukas Varga, a man of no consequence, held the power of gods in his trembling hands. His bullet was not just a weapon. It was a verdict, a judgment on an empire and an era. Yet he was no mastermind, no prophet. He was a tool, wielded by forces larger than himself, driven by a dream he barely understood. The Black Hand's vision of freedom was flawed, their unity a mirage. Lukas believed in a cause, but causes are treacherous things, twisting the hearts of those who serve them. History does not remember Lukas Varga, but it feels him. In the trenches of the Somme, in the birth of nations, in the silence of a million graves. One man, one moment, one shot, and the echoes still resound.